Hello, welcome to Introduction to UAS for Agriculture Application course. My name is Jin Ha Jung. I'm Assistant Professor in Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. And this is going to be a 100% online course where we don't get to see each other face to face, but we will have a meeting online every week. And because this is a course that will be delivered online, 100% online, and all the course teaching material will be delivered through the Blackboard website. The fact that you're already watching this video means that you already logged into Blackboard, you already know how to log into this Blackboard site. But assuming that you don't know how to do it, this is how you connect in your web browser. Type in bb9.tanuc.edu and enter, and you need to type in your ID and password. I already typed in my password, so I'm just seeing this page, but when you just first log in, there's going to another page you have to go through to type in your ID and password to get here. So once you get here, there's on the right section here it says my course. If you scroll down, make sure you open and looking at the 2018-01, which is a spring semester, and click the course link that you enrolled in, and this course is being offered in the many different course numbers. The reason is because we're offering this course in 3 different campuses, and also undergraduate level and graduate level courses. So the number that you are seeing here might be a little bit different, but what you need to click is special topics in engineering and UAS agriculture applications. So you need to click this, for example. Then you're going to go to the course website, and this is the main page of the course website, how it looks like. And on the left page you have a menu that you can choose from, and this is a dashboard page where you're going to see most important information that's going to show up when you first visit the course website. So on the left menu there's a notification, start here, and announcement. And this announcement page is going to be where I'm going to make important announcements about the course. For example, if there's any new lecture being uploaded, I'm going to announce it here. Or if there's a homework assignment or a midterm, I'm going to use this announcement menu to announce to all of you. So keep in mind that to check this announcement page periodically to make sure that you're up to date with all those important announcements. There's a calendar that we may be used to schedule something, and the syllabus. This is the menu that we're going to visit later, and this one has information about the syllabus. And unit, this is all the lecture is going to be posted. So we're going to go back to this in a menu later. And my grade, this is the location where you can check your scores about your homework assignment or midterm or etc. And pretty much the rest of the stuff we are not going to be using until except this Examity option over here. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Examity service when I'm going over the syllabus material later. Basically, this is 100% online course, and it's going to be very challenging to do the testing. So we're going to be using Examity service to do the online test. So let's go back to this top again, and I think I already explained about what the announcement is going to be. Basically, if you just click this menu over there, they're going to submit some announcement. I just made some test announcement before, which I don't need, so I'm going to just delete it. But every time I have an announcement, I'm going to just post it here. And this announcement should be also emailed to you as well, so that you can get that announcement right away. But I highly recommend you visit this announcement page on a regular basis, so that you don't miss any important announcement about the course. Next section is syllabus, and once you click this, you have a PDF format of the syllabus being uploaded over here. And I'm going to go over this syllabus later. And if you click unit, before I do that, let me switch into the student mode, so that this is going to be exactly how it's going to look like to you. Now once you click unit, There is going to be all the unit is going to be being available. Right now only unit 0 is available. I haven't other unit being available to you, but as semester going moving forward, there's going to be more information is going to be being available to you. So not only the announcement link you need to visit periodically, you also need to visit this unit to make sure that you are following up all those lecture material. And for example, if you just click this unit 0, they're gonna have more information being displayed over here. And now there is objectives, and basically in each unit it will start with this objectives, and these are the list of items I want you to be able to achieve in this each unit. And for example, this unit 0 getting started unit, I want you to be able to describe all the course activities and calculate the current letter grade based on your scores. I'm going to talk a little bit more detail about in the syllabus later. And I also want you to be able to describe course expectation. And for example, I want you to visit the course every week, and I want you to do all the homework assignment and schedule your exam so that you take your exam at the appropriate timing, and etc. So I'm going to just have more detailed explanation in the syllabus section later. And next up is my grade. If you click this is going to be where you're going to check all the grade that is mainly days becoming available to you. For example, if you do the homework assignment, I'm going to grade it and post grade back, then you're going to see your grade in this page of section as well. Okay, with this, let's go back to syllabus page again and click this link over here. That will open up a PDF file within the browser. You have a Chrome, or you can download it to your computer and open it up using any PDF viewer. And let me zoom in a little bit so that we can see better. So, title of this course is Selected Topics in Engineering for the undergraduate level. I think the graduate level might be a little different, but the main title of this course is Introduction to UAS for Agriculture Application. And like I mentioned before, this is going to be 100% online course, so we don't get to see each other face to face. So class meeting time and class meeting location is everything is online, and all those lecture material, homework assignment, and exam will be posted on this Blackboard website, which is https://bb9.tanucc.edu. And section B is information about myself. My name is Jin Ha-jung, assistant professor in School of Engineering and Computer Science at Texas A&M Corpus Christi University. And my office is located in Engineering Building 207A, and my office hours Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to noon. My office phone number. This is my email address. And if you are on campus, you're more than welcome to stop by my office during this office hour to discuss anything. But for those of you who are off campus, you can shoot me an email. If you want to set up WebEx meeting, you can send me an email to schedule the meeting. Then we can set up the WebEx meeting so that we can do face-to-face, not the video face-to-face meeting, but the online meeting through the WebEx so that we can interact more better. So if you want to schedule a meeting outside of an office hour, or if you want to schedule the meeting through the WebEx, feel free to send me an email or give me a call. And usually an email works much better because there's a lot of times when I'm not in my office, and if you just send me an email, I try to respond back to as soon as possible. So technical support and requirement, we'll be using Blackboard Learning System. So there is a IOL at the tanucc.edu website where you can get a lot of information about the Blackboard Learning System. And there is more information where to contact if you have any problem with the Blackboard system. So this is the information about that. And the Island Online Student Resource webpage is also available through this link as well. Okay, There is a link where we can check, make sure your computer is compatible with this Blackboard 9.1. You can go this link and check it. And next section is in a course description. Basically, it provides a foundation to acquire motion sensing data using UAS, which is a manned aircraft system, and to interpret, process, apply motion sense data for agriculture application. And principle of remote sensing, data image processing, geospatial analysis will be covered, and emphasis will be on the use of UAV motion sensing technology for various disciplines in agriculture science, including plant breeding, plant physiology, crop scouting, pest management, and entomology, and etc. So basically, this course is about how we can use UAV technology for agriculture application, as you can read from the title of the course. And prerequisite of this course, you're supposed to take this course, Introduction to UAS System, that is taught by Dr. David Bridge. And I know that some of you, who just are taking this class without taking this one, because many either you got a waiver or you're in off campus, and etc. So this is required, not the mandatory prerequisite course you have to take, but they do help you a lot if you take took this course before to do well in this course. There's no core requisite for this course. For the textbook, we don't have any textbook listed here because this is still very early how should I say that early material in terms of development. So we don't have any specific textbook we will be using, but we do provide all those reading material and lecture notes throughout the course. So you don't need to have any textbook purchase for this course. And software, most of the software we'll be using this course, we'll be using free and open source software packages as much as possible, so that you don't need to purchase any software. But there's some software where the commercial software is doing better, so we'll be introducing some of the commercial software packages throughout the course, but you'll be able to actually take advantage of a trial license for those software later. Section F, student learning outcome and assessment. Assessment is a process, and I'm not going to do it, but basically they just talk about the importance of the assessment of the course. And basically all these numbered items, these are the subjects I am expecting you to master at the end of the semester. For example, number 1, understand how to safely operate and use UAS technology for remote sensing. Number 2, design UAS survey mission to collect the appropriate spatial and spectral resolution data. Number 3, understand spatial accuracy, georeferencing, and field method required for the research project. Number 4, pre-process UAS data to generate geospatial data products such as orthomosaic images, 3D-point cloud data, and digital surface model. Number 5, perform calculation from the digital surface model to estimate crop growth characteristics. Number 6, derive estimate of crop health or MAP prescription from the multispectral image product. And number 7, which is kind of summarizing all the technique that you have learned in this course, which is synthesize multiple data types from the varying sources that can be information from multiple sensors, and how we can actually integrate it into the one so they can perform more advanced analysis. So all these listed item over here is the subject I want you to be able to master throughout this course. And next, section G is a major course requirement and grading. So I think that this is the item that you might be most interested. And there's going to be 4 major categories. Journal paper review. I'm going to give out the journal paper review assignment throughout the course. And that is going to be 10% of your final grade. And there will be computing assignment. This is a UAV motion sensing course. There's going to be a lot of the computational the programming related for how to use the software packages. Assignment is going to be you're going to have that kind of assignment throughout the course. So that computing assignment is going to be make up your 40% of your final grade, which is in the biggest portion. And there will be 2 exams, one midterm and one final. That will be 25% of your final grade each. Okay, section 8. These are the course contents and schedule, and this is summarized by unit. Unit 1, we'll be talking about what is the introduction. We'll be talking about the introduction to EAS for agricultural application. So basically, I'm trying to introduce overall the component of this course material. Unit 2 is going to be, we're going to start to talk about the GIS, which is a Geographic Information System. And number 3, talking about the map projection. There's a lot of data we will be collecting from the UAV. Most of the data we'll be collecting from the UAV is in the geospatial data set, and how we can actually reference that collecting information to the search actual location is going to be very, very important. And we'll be looking into more detail about different types of map projection, so that we can, especially when you are dealing with multiple data source where they are acquiring different map projection, how to combine those information. Understanding this map projection is going to be very, very critical. And number 4, introduction to QGIS. QGIS quantum GIS. This is one of the most famous free open source GIS software packages. So in this unit 2, we're going to talk about the principle of GIS. By no means is not the complete principle. We're going to talk about very basic GIS principles. And this unit 4, we are going to actually using some of the software packages to utilize this GIS technology. And unit 5 is an introduction to remote sensing. So all the data will be collected from the UAV is going to be remote sensing data, and you need to have some understanding of remote sensing principle. So I'll be covering that remote sensing introduction in unit 5. And after that, we'll have your first midterm. And unit 6 is going to be classification. What I mean by classification is how you can actually generate the thematic map from the remote sensing data. So that's going to be the main topic of unit 6. And the unit 7, now we start to talk about the actual mission planning. And unfortunately, this is a 100% online course. You won't be able to have a chance to give you training on how to fly how to operate the UAV. But I want you to have I want you to be able to actually do a mission planning. So in unit 7, we are going to talk about how we can design the mission, UAV, UAS, mission using some of the software packages. Number 8 is a structure from motion, which is a major, most popular computation algorithm that is used to process the UAV data. And in this structure from motion, we will be generating different geospatial data products such as OpenMosaic, Point Cloud, and the Fixed Surface Model. We'll be looking into different available software packages in this section. And number 9 is going to be summarizing everything we've doing so far, and using all the material learned in until chapter 8, we'll be doing some advanced UAS data analysis in this unit 9. And after that, you will be have your final. Okay. Of course, this is the still earlier stage in terms of the post development. There might be some changes in course schedule, and whenever there is a change in course schedule, I will announce it through the announcement from the Blackboard website. Okay, course policies. Time requirement. This is a regular credit hour course. Requires approximately 6 hours of class time per week, plus 12 hours of study time. So you're gonna be spending quite some time on a Blackboard to actually watch these lectures, but you will be also given some homework assignment so that you can apply some of the materials that you learn in this lecture. So I'm expecting you to spend the minimum of 18 hours per week for this 15 week on this semester period. Because this is online course, you have to spend even more time than 18 hours. Because sometimes we don't have enough interaction. Student login expectation. So I expect each one of you to log into Blackboard site every 3 days at a minimum. It is recommended to students check daily for announcement and update. So we don't have any scheduled class meetings. So it is going to be your responsibility to check this course website at least once a day, but once every 3 days at a minimum. So of course I'm gonna be whenever I make an announcement, that announcement is going to be sent out via email as well. So you'll be receiving email. But I'm also you to log into this course website every day to make sure that you're not missing any important information. And faculty available to support students, I will maintain constant web presence, and I also try to respond via email as soon as possible. And exam is going to be closed book and closed note. And if you need any other information during the course, that information will be provided separate. But you are not going to be allowed to have the textbook or any note during the course, during the exam. And combination of concept question, fill in the blank, TF. So combination of concept question and the workout problems will be given. And if you only calculators will be allowed. Other smart devices like tablet computers or smartphone is allowed during the test. Online test proctoring with Examity. So this is what I meant earlier. The course requires use the exam proctoring involving third-party charges. Because this is we don't have the regular class meeting schedule. So exam should be online as well. So we'll be using Examity service to do this, and exam proctoring charge may range from the $1 to $50 per exam. And to be honest with you, I've never done this Examity service before. So as we are getting close to the exam period, I will start to give you more detailed information about how much is going to be, what is being required, and etc. But keep in mind there will be a charge associated with this test and proctoring service, and you are required to schedule exam at least 24 hours in advance. I'm going to announce the exam in the middle of the semester, but you have to actually contact Examity service to schedule your exam at least 24 hours in advance. Otherwise, there might be additional charge might be associated with your request. And you may access the exam directly from Blackboard without the hassle of another username and password. And if you click this link, they will have more detailed information about how to actually use exam service through the Blackboard. And there is more information, the computer requirement to use the exam service, like what kind of desktop computer and a laptop, and a tablet or other smartphone devices not supported. You need to have a webcam or microphone. There's either built-in or external is required. You need to be connected to the internet, and you need to have a web browser. There is a pop-up blocker is disabled. So I will let you read through about this Examity service, and I will try to give you more detailed information about this Examity service as we are getting close to the first exam. So makeup exam will only be allowed with a valid. What I mean by valid is a university approved excuse. You cannot tell me that in the day of the exam sending me an email that Dr. Jung, I'm really sorry that my car I got a flat tire and etc. Those kind of excuses are not going to be enough you need to be able to, you should provide university approved excuse to have a make an exam, and exam need to be made up within 1 week from the miss time. So you cannot kind of wait too long until you have a make an exam, and make an exam may be different with what is given to the other student. Miss exam, make an exam will only be allowed with a valid excuse. If you miss it, and if you contact me after, and you're not going to be able to do it, and you should be able to have a valid excuse to be able to do the make an exam. Email. I will be using email as a one of the most main communication channel, and I encourage you to email me often with a question. And you must use, I would say, I recommend you to use school email. You can use Yahoo or Gmail, and just getting a lot of spam email. They may go into my spam folder. I may not be able to even see it. And one more thing I want to highlight here is that you must, I'm going to even highlight it here. You must include course number and section in subject heading, as well as in the purpose of the email. What I mean by this is not in the content, but in the subject heading. Because I'm receiving a lot of email every day, and a lot of times I just see your email, but I'm in the meeting or I'm off campus. I said that, oh, I'm gonna go back to this email later, but if I miss that email for somehow, it's very, very difficult for me to come back to the email later and take care of it. But if you, add your, this course number and subject section number in the subject line of your email, it is, helps me greatly so that I can go back to your email and take care of it later once I come back to my office. So I highly encourage you to follow this the rule here. Whenever you send me an email regarding course, please include the course number and section in the subject heading, so that I can go back to this email later and take care of your request. Okay, others. Blackboard will be used through the semester, provide access to note, example problems, notifications regarding quiz, homework, and exams and project, and so forth. Attendance. This is online course. I'm not going to take any attendance, but like I told you before, I'm expecting you to log into Blackboard course website almost every day, and every 3 days at the minimum. So this is going to be way of checking your attendance. Assignment late work policy. You expect to every time I'm gonna assign a homework assignment, there will be a deadline associated with it, and there will be late penalty associated with that late submission. For example, 1 to 3 days of late, minus 3% per day past due. 4 to 3 days, minus 12% per day past due. Okay, over 1 week, minus 30%. For 2 weeks, you're not going to get any credit. So please try to meet the deadline over each homework assignment as much as possible. This presentation report, you expect to print in the report when scheduled, or make a presentation will only permit under department approved circumstances. And we are not going to have any this presentation, but we will have some report later associated with the homework assignment. So please make sure you submit it by due date. Section J is pretty much standard material about other information that you may need to know. Like for example, when is the deadline for the working course without getting grade of A, and etc. So I will let you read through it, and this will be the end of our first unit 0. Okay, thank you, and I will see you in unit 1 soon.